Good morning, and we're in chapter 33. And remember, Israel decided to make a golden calf to worship, and the Lord was not happy about this. He had done so much for them. He had opened the Red Sea for them to cross. He destroyed the Egyptian army. He did so many different things. He did so many miracles that he did not need to do so that they would follow him. And now, just because Moses was a few days late, you might say, or something, he spent 40 days up in the mountain, they decide that they would have another God. And now the Lord is not happy with them, but he also wants them to know that he is still there for them. But they're losing something. And we do this every time we decide to depart from the Lord, is we lose a little part of ourselves. And the Lord said unto Moses, Depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac and Jacob, saying, And to thy seed will I give it. So he's saying, I promised this to them, so I will keep my promise to them. I don't need to keep a promise to the people here because they are not keeping their promises to me. But I promised it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I'll keep it for them. Could you imagine how that would feel, knowing that you're not worthy of it, but you're getting these blessings anyway? I think we do that anyway. I think our whole lives there is something that we miss. And the Lord can see, and he is there saying, because of my atonement, you will come back. But not because you are so wonderful and perfect, but because I have made that promise. I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite and the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite. So he will drive them out, is what he says here at this point. And we'll see how that goes. Right there, he's letting them know what is possible and what they will do. They've followed him so far, and they've made mistakes. Will they follow him into the land where there's real danger here? Unto a land flowing with milk and honey. He always puts that after he mentions who lives in the land right now. For I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. So the whole point, at this point, being at the mountain, it seems, was to prepare them for him to be in their midst. Moses goes through such great lengths to do that, and then they are like, oh, I don't know, I don't think they don't even want to communicate with God themselves. They want Moses to do it. Moses, you do this, we'll listen to you, but you do it. And because they wouldn't listen, and in the sense that Moses said, hey, no, it's not just for me, it's for you. He will be there in your midst. Could you imagine the what if on this, of the Lord going in their midst and being able to be such a righteous people? It'd be so different of a story. They wouldn't have had to wander 40 years in the wilderness with that. And I don't know what would have happened with the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hiphite, and the Jebusites. Maybe they would have just been driven out. Maybe they would have left that land. But the people did not listen. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornaments. Now, I was wondering about this. I don't know if this is true. There's a reason behind this besides, I think it's a show of mourning. But tie that with it yesterday when Aaron said, give me your wife's jewelries and things like that, the earrings is what they mentioned specifically. And now they're not going to put those ornaments like earrings and things on as to show that they want to be loyal. At least that's something that I've felt a little bit, that they could have felt that. Like I said, it's probably more to do with mourning, but can you see that could be a way of them turning to the Lord and saying, sorry, we're sorry. You know, you can kind of picture them being able to just kind of humble themselves a little bit for this second and say, oh, we're really sorry. We didn't mean to do that. Or something like that. It's a way of them saying sorry. For the Lord hath said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come up into the midst of thee. Oh, what happened there? Where did I go? Sorry. Yeah. No, I was clicking on the wrong thing, that's why. Or if I came up, I would consume. See, he's letting them know they hadn't prepared themselves sufficiently. And if he came into the midst in their condition, he would consume them. Therefore, put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation, or I believe it was the tent of the assembly that we had before, or something similar. Oh, how did that not work? Somewhere in there is supposed to, anyway, a tent of the congregation, anyway. And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation. There we go, I think that's it there. Tent of meeting. There we go. Which was without the camp. And it came to pass that Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door, and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, I could just imagine Moses going through these people and everybody coming to their tent door and watch him walk and realizing what they're missing in a way. And it came to pass that Moses entered into the tabernacle. The cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses. And the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose up and worshipped, every man in his tent. So the Lord is still there with them. He's just not in their midst. And sometimes I think we can have the Lord with us and help us. But do we have him in our midst, in our hearts and in our families? Is he there? Or is he something a little bit further off? The next Sunday or whatever, are we just that far behind them that we're not quite having him in our midst and having his countenance upon us? That's what we should be striving for. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again and into the camp, but his servant Joshua the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. Now Joshua is going to be very important. And I think this is just saying he, like Moses, is communing with God, the Lord, or at least preparing himself, getting ready. He's going to the temple. He's doing those things that he should be doing. And Moses said unto the Lord, See, thou sayest unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom. Now, I just want to point out here, I've gone over this several times, and I hope I got this right. But I've tried to put in red those parts that are the Lord, talking about the Lord. If it says Lord and it's in red, it means Heavenly Father or Jesus Christ. Thou is referring to Heavenly Father or Jesus Christ. But look at how many times I haven't got it in red is usually when it's Moses speaking or someone else. So the red is supposed to be reference to God in some way, in Jesus Christ, his Son. See, thou sayest unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send unto me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast found grace in my sight. So Moses is feeling a bit confused. He's not sure what he's supposed to be doing. And he's praying to the Lord and saying, well, you told me to do this, but I don't get it. Therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, My presence shall go with thee, and I give thee rest. I think that he should be a red underlined too. The Lord is saying, My presence shall go with thee. And he said unto him, If thy presence go forward. So Moses said unto God, If thy presence go forward, go not with me, carry us not hence. He's saying, you know what, if you're not going there, then we shouldn't go there either. You know, don't make us go in there without you, because I don't think that's a good idea. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated. And in the notes it says a special and distinctive people, rather than just a separated people. But just distinctive from other people. I and thy people from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. There he says it again, I know thee by name. That's the second time in this, I know thee by name. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, Thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. And there is, instead of that, we've got, and he said unto Moses, Thou canst not see my face at this time, lest mine anger be kindled against thee also, and I destroy thee and thy people, and there shall no man among them see me at this time and live, for they are exceeding sinful. And no sinful man hath at any time, either shall there be any sinful man at any time, that they shall see my face and live. So he's not just talking about that Moses will not see his face, because we know from the book of Moses that he does see the face of the Lord, and that there's been other people who have seen the face of the Lord. So what are they talking about? They're talking about those that are sinful will not see the face of the Lord. That's why he's not in the middle of the camp. And there's, again, some more information on the right-hand side about the same subject of that we just mentioned. And the Lord said, Behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock, and it shall come to pass while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft, and in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with thy hand while I pass by. And if you look at the notes on that, until I've gone past, sorry. So is saying, okay, you will not see anything until I've gone past, basically. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. It's basically saying, I'm going to turn my back on this right now, almost seen, as at other times, for I am angry with this people, Israel, with my people, Israel. So we've covered a lot here. I think it shows a lot of love that he's showing here, but he's also showing you can't just do what you want to do. Now, you need to do what I ask you to do, and that's the only way you're going to reach salvation. And that, I think, is what's amazing about this, is the Lord is so full of mercy, and he wants to save his people. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow.